My name is Jessie Jordan. I'm an artist and a conservationist currently in Madagascar. Madagascar is an incredible island off the coast of Eastern Africa. It's filled with fauna and flora so unique that 90% of the species found here exist nowhere else in the world. Recent news about fires rapidly destroying the dry forest of Madagascar prompted me to travel more. This might be my only chance to see the endemic wildlife found here before their habitat disappears forever. I've never traveled to northwestern Madagascar before, and I didn't know what to expect. As the fourth largest island in the world, it can take anywhere from hours to days to get to different destinations. My guide, Nicky Aina, and I left the capital city of Antananarivo by taxi Bruce and headed northwest along the Route Nationale 4. Within the first couple of hours of our journey, the climate changed drastically. We went from cool highland temperatures to hot and dry savannas. Much of the land had recently been scorched for agricultural purposes. By lunchtime, temperatures reached 38 degrees Celsius. It is hot! After about 10 hours on the road, we reached the entrance of Ankarafantsika National Park, a beautiful Eden of dry forest with a lake that even has crocodiles. Right away, we saw a troop of cockerel sifakas in the treetops above the national park offices. The sound of lemurs woke me up early the next morning. I grabbed my camera and headed out. The sifakas came down from the trees and began playing on the ground. It's hard not to fall in love with these amazing primates. Ankarafantsika has the last stronghold population of the cockerel sifakas. As with all sifaka species, their biggest threat to extinction is habitat loss. Cockerel sifakas are now listed as critically endangered on the IUCN Red List. It indicates that this species is at risk of going extinct within the next 10 years or even sooner. These animals need large areas of protected forest to support healthy populations. Their specialized leaf-eating diets make it difficult to survive outside of the region's shrinking forest, and Ankarafantsika is disappearing alarmingly fast.
Ankarafantsika is very special because we can find a lot of species, endemic species of Madagascar just here in this park, like turtles, lemurs, small birds. We need to protect this area because it's the last habitat for this species, especially for the lemurs we can see here now.
More and more, often illegal fires are happening in and around the national park. Someone said that 80% of the original forest within the park has been burned over the years. Others have said the park they knew 5 years ago is not the same park that exists today. We spoke with the park director about it. With all the national parks in Madagascar, what makes this place special is the dry forest and the wetlands together. Two ecosystems that are very different but exist together in Ankarafantsika. These wetlands are considered as an internationally important Ramsar site. What is unfortunate is that there are pressures weighing on this park, even though everybody is trying to work together to protect it. Fire control is the main issue to protecting the biodiversity of Ankarafantsika. The main reason is that there are people who burn intentionally because of their dissatisfaction, their anger within the community, so they just burn the park. There are also cattle rustlers. They make the park their own hiding spot, and they make fire too. There are also people who enter illegally into the park to use fire for cooking fuel. Fires are also started to convert forest into crop fields. Those are among the reasons for fires inside the park that are not easily controlled. So, we took 2 hikes with our guide Gildas over a period of 2 days. He really showed us the amazing wildlife, and here's what he had to say.
My name is Ravakiniaina Gildas, local guide, work at Ankarafantsika National Park. I have quite a lot of experience about birds and many other animals. which you can see at the park. Ankarafantsika is very special, one of the places where you can find a lot of birds in Madagascar. And that's also why Ankarafantsika attracts a lot of bird watchers to come here every year. The best season is around September until November.
We saw so many species, from the vongas, mezites, kuwas, flycatchers, parrots, sparrowhawks, and then finally we spotted the elusive male asiki in breeding colors. We found some geckos, a beautiful snake, and some chameleons too. We also saw some mongoose lemurs, but they were too high in the trees to actually film. The insects here, they're camouflaged to look like lichen on a tree.
They don't eat.
They don't eat?
Like the color with a pink color.
Okay.
And after the pink color...
These beautiful plants are endemic to the area and apparently glow in the dark at night. We went on a night hike one evening and saw 4 species of lemurs in less than an hour. Since then, that area has been destroyed by fire.
Fire is the big problem in Ankarafantsika. Because every year there will always at the remote place of the forest burn it by somebody. Before, when we visit in the forest, when we guide some group of people, for example, they wanted to look for a lemur or for some wildlife, we have a very easy time to find the animals. But this time, everything quite hard to find. So you have to go, you have to move many times. So you have to spend 4 hours, 5 hours to find something in the forest. Not like how it was before.
I asked him if he has any suggestions for solutions about the problem.
The solution is that park have to give some job to everyone on the side of the park, maybe something like that is so nice. Or if there is other company who wants to help the local people who lives at the side of the park, that would be very helpful because if they have a job, I think they may not want to do something bad at the forest because they can find an advantage to the forest where they live. So.
After that, we met with Bertrand from Planet Madagascar to learn more about their work here.
My name is Bertrand Nicky Aina. I'm a project manager on fire management project in Planet Madagascar Association. Planet Madagascar is an association working on conservation of the fragmented landscape with the community in Ambar in Dafukutani, of course in Ankarafantsika National Park. The big challenge is this fire. This fire is the biggest problem, as well as people from other area. They try to exploit the forest and then they burn the area, and we work with the community to do some patrol, and we help them as well about income generating project, to have beekeeping project and with citrus project to improve their livelihood, to be dependent on the forest resource as well. We have 6 persons per community, so we have 18 in fire management team. In these 3 villages, they are doing patrol in the area. They do 4 patrols a week, then in total 46 patrol per month. So far we have a very good collaboration with them. For example, if we will do a fire break, around 15 kilometers of fire break. So we clean this every year to avoid this fire. There is savanna and there's small fragment in the savanna. So we protect this area.
We also met with the drone project coordinator of Durrell, a UK-based NGO working on protecting Madagascar's most vulnerable habitats and critically endangered species like the side-necked turtle.
My name is Chitu and I'm working for Durrell in Madagascar in drone project conservation. So we use drones for survey, for mapping, and to assist the patrol to fight against poachers. I trained the local staff of Durrell on how to use drones and how to use this data for protecting the biodiversity. The solution against forest fire is to educate the people from the school. We should start from the school, from the children, on how to protect and why we need to protect this area, and help them to make smart agriculture. We can provide seeds, teach them, train them on how to have great culture and how they can assure that they will have enough food for the year. Some partners here like MNP, Darrell and other NGO are working on that.
After visiting Ankarafantsika National Park, I saw firsthand just how fast the forest is disappearing. I learned that there are multiple reasons for fires within the park, but was surprised to find that people suffering from the famine caused by climate change in southern Madagascar are migrating here as a last resort to survive. They're being paid by corporations to burn protected areas for 1 or 2 seasons of crops, like corn, for products like beer and animal feed. This isn't sustainable and is worsening the drought situation in Madagascar. Once the forest is gone, tourists will no longer come here if there's no wildlife to see, so that will be another loss of revenue. It gives me hope to see associations like Madagascar National Parks and NGOs like Planet Madagascar and Darrell working together with the communities to protect what remains of the forest. It's going to take people in power to step in and work with these big companies to improve their supply chains in order to save the forest. This video was made possible thanks to our sponsors. Wise Tropics is an NGO with a mission to preserve wildlife and wild places through conservation, education, and restoration ecology. Also, Susan Wheeler, thank you for sponsoring this expedition. You made this trip to Ankarafantsika possible, and we can't thank you enough for your continuous support. And last but not least, thank you to the Lemur Conservation Network for inspiring us all to work together.